you're still alive, you're still breathing, you're still about to create something. And it even takes some degree of creativity to design a notion that there's no creativity here. Like, we're creative all the time, including if we create that there's no creativity. Like, that's even a creative act, is my point. And you can step in, and I get that sometimes it seems like it's a greater uphill battle than other times. You know, sometimes I just want to pick up my colored pencils and go. I like coloring mandalas, for instance. And I really enjoy that. I did a couple of them last week. It was fabulous. It was just completely fabulous. I loved it. And served some very real healing purposes. And sometimes, you know, I didn't feel like picking up a pencil at all, and I did it anyways. And, you know, if I'm in a real funk, I might think, I don't want to do that. And I almost want to savor the opportunity. Like, I reserve the right to stay miserable and no one's going to change me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love to color. I always have. I do virtual coloring every night. That's at the end of my day after working with people. Going through this, I sit in front of on the sofa in front of the television, and I virtually color. It's
Cool.
the thing that takes me away.
That's great. I love that.
Sorry, I'm very congested today. Okay. So yeah, I mean, they'll say things to me like, I don't understand, Randy. I was always a very decisive person. Now I go to the grocery store and I stand in front of the bread and I can't choose. I just cannot choose which bread to get. What is that about?
Well, it's a really interesting question. I appreciate it. And I think what ends up happening is that you've made decisions for other people, not being made for yourself for such a long time, that the source of your decision making has been distorted.
Wow.
Like, why do you do what you do? It starts being not for yourself, but for the people or the circumstances around you, that you're imagining you're doing things in order to get their approval, in order to change the ways, in order to be, you know, in order to create some causative response. And when that's the case, you have, in many cases, relinquished your practice of making a decision on your own behalf. And therefore, when it comes to picking, you know, between whole wheat and baguettes, you have no idea what to do at the.
That's really a great answer. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I can completely understand how that could happen.
Yeah.
And why that would be the source of the issue. So let's talk a little bit more about how to apply the creative aid.
Sure.
What is the method of how to do that?
So the best way to apply it, at least the way the book implies, is to activate yourself as often as you can every day. And I only ask for a minute per action. And just in a minute, you know, if you end up doing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, it's okay. You can do more than a minute. But it's not simple to, you know, we have busy lives, and to stop for a moment and actually draw, or to stop for a moment and actually dance, or to stop for a moment and actually garden, doing more than you would have done in a typical day. So it's going over and above and tapping into those creative outlets. That's the methodology that I imply works.